Rule over yourself, wrote philosopher Marcus Aurelius, capturing a timeless truth about self-control as a core foundation of personal power. From achieving career milestones to maintaining healthy habits, self-control is the skill that strengthens every goal, propelling us forward while keeping distractions at bay. Research shows self-control can be cultivated through specific techniques, making it a skill within everyone's reach. Psychology, neuroscience, and philosophy have all studied self-control's potential. By learning to delay gratification, practicing mindfulness, and setting clear goals, we not only achieve more but live in alignment with our values. This guide explores 11 essential points on building self-control in everyday life, drawing from the wisdom of thinkers like Aristotle and insights from modern psychologists. Alongside practical exercises, it delves into the science of willpower, habit formation, and positive reinforcement. From the daily pause technique to visualization and goal setting, each strategy offers tools for a more focused, resilient, and purpose-driven life. The power of habit, as William James once called it, for a truly fulfilling future. Understanding self-control. Self-control is the ability to manage emotions, thoughts, and actions to stay aligned with long-term goals rather than giving into immediate desires. It is a central aspect of personal development, affecting various life areas like health, finance, and relationships. From a scientific perspective, self-control is governed primarily by the prefrontal cortex, the brain's decision-making and impulse-regulating region. Neuroscientists emphasize its role in helping us delay gratification, resist distractions, and maintain focus on what matters most. For example, in a study known as the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment, children who managed to resist an immediate reward in favor of a larger one later were shown to achieve higher life success rates. This outcome highlights how self-control can profoundly influence future achievement and well-being. In psychology, self-control is often linked to willpower, a mental resource described in Roy Baumeister's theory of ego depletion. According to Baumeister, willpower can be temporarily depleted by excessive use. However, newer studies suggest that while willpower may feel drained, motivation and mindset also play significant roles in how we perceive this depletion. Thus, self-control can be seen as both a skill to be strengthened and a resource to be managed wisely. Philosophically, self-control has long been regarded as a virtue. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, valued it as a pathway to freedom, believing that mastering one's impulses leads to a more intentional and fulfilled life. Integrating these perspectives, self-control emerges as a powerful skill that, when exercised consistently, helps build resilience, purpose, and personal success. The role of willpower. Willpower is often described as the driving force behind self-control, acting as a mental reserve that helps individuals overcome immediate desires for long-term goals. Psychologist Roy Baumeister pioneered research on willpower through his ego depletion theory, which proposes that self-control functions like a muscle that can become fatigued with repeated use. This theory suggests that after resisting numerous temptations, individuals may find it harder to continue exercising self-control due to temporary depletion. However, while many studies support this concept, recent findings indicate that willpower may not be as exhaustible as once thought. Newer research highlights that the perception of willpower is crucial. In other words, if someone believes their willpower is limited, they are more likely to feel drained after exerting self-control. Conversely, those who view willpower as a renewable resource are often more resilient when faced with continued challenges. This suggests that mindset plays an influential role in one's ability to practice self-control over time. Psychologists such as Carol Dweck, known for her work on mindset theory, emphasize that viewing willpower as flexible and renewable can bolster self-control effectiveness. Practically, treating willpower as a resource that can be recharged is beneficial. Taking short breaks, practicing mindfulness, or even rewarding oneself after a task can restore energy levels and maintain willpower throughout the day. Small, purposeful pauses can help the mind reset, allowing individuals to manage challenges without feeling overwhelmed. This balance between mindset and management strategies makes willpower a powerful, dynamic tool for self-control in everyday life. If you're enjoying this audiobook and finding value in the content, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. A large portion of our listeners and viewers haven't subscribed yet, and by doing so, you'll help us grow and continue bringing you more high-quality audiobooks. Your support means a lot to us, and it's just one click away. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay connected and never miss out on our latest releases. Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist immediate rewards in favor of more substantial, future benefits, a key component of self-control. This concept gained significant attention through Walter Mischel's Stanford marshmallow experiment in the 1970s, where children were given a choice. They could eat one marshmallow immediately or wait to receive 2 marshmallows later. Follow-up studies on these children found that those who could delay gratification tended to perform better academically, have healthier relationships, and experience greater life success overall. This research established a strong link between delayed gratification and long-term achievement. The psychology behind delayed gratification lies in developing patience and focusing on future goals rather than immediate desires. It requires activating the prefrontal cortex, responsible for forward thinking and decision-making, rather than succumbing to impulses driven by the brain's reward center. Neuroscientists explain that each time we practice delaying gratification, we strengthen neural pathways that enhance our ability to manage impulses, building resilience over time. In everyday life, delayed gratification can be cultivated through small, deliberate exercises. For instance, when tempted by a quick pleasure, like checking social media while working, try setting a brief delay, such as waiting 5 or 10 minutes. This practice, often referred to as the 10-minute rule, helps train the mind to pause before acting on impulse. Psychologist Kelly McGonigal, known for her work on willpower, suggests that these short delays can build the mental stamina needed for larger, more challenging goals. Ultimately, delayed gratification isn't about denying pleasure but making conscious choices that align with long-term success. Practicing it consistently contributes to better self-regulation, helping individuals achieve more satisfying outcomes. Mindfulness for impulse control. Mindfulness is a mental practice that encourages present-moment awareness, making it an effective tool for enhancing self-control and managing impulses. By focusing on the here and now, mindfulness helps individuals observe their thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting, creating a space for intentional decision-making. Neuroscience shows that regular mindfulness practice strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for self-regulation, and reduces activity in the amygdala, which triggers impulsive, emotionally driven responses. One approach to mindfulness is the use of breathing exercises, such as the 4-7-8 technique, where individuals inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Practicing this kind of breathing during moments of stress helps to reset the nervous system, giving the mind a chance to pause before responding to impulses. Studies have found that this delay can be critical for making decisions that align with longer-term goals rather than short-term desires. Psychologists like Jon Kabat-Zinn, a pioneer of mindfulness-based stress reduction, emphasize that mindfulness develops non-judgmental awareness, allowing people to accept their immediate urges without acting on them. This perspective empowers individuals to choose actions that reflect their deeper intentions, rather than fleeting desires. Research on mindfulness also shows that it can reduce feelings of anxiety, making self-control less effortful and more sustainable over time. In daily life, mindfulness can be practiced in just a few minutes each day through focused breathing, body scans, or simply observing thoughts without judgment. These exercises gradually build resilience against impulsive behaviors, fostering self-control in both minor moments and more significant life decisions. Set specific goals. Setting specific, clear goals is fundamental to self-control because it directs focus and energy toward achievable outcomes, reducing the likelihood of impulsive actions. Research in psychology shows that well-defined goals provide a sense of purpose, making self-control easier to maintain since it becomes tied to a meaningful direction. Edwin Locke and Gary Latham, renowned for their goal-setting theory, emphasize that specific, challenging goals lead to higher performance compared to vague, unstructured intentions. Specific goals not only give clarity but also serve as benchmarks for progress, which can be highly motivating. For example, rather than aiming to exercise more, a more specific goal would be to walk 30 minutes every morning. This kind of clarity reduces mental ambiguity, making it easier to resist temptations that conflict with the goal, as the individual has a clear target to stay aligned with. From a neuroscience perspective, Goal setting activates the brain's dopamine system, which is associated with reward anticipation. This activation provides motivation and encourages persistence in pursuing objectives, as the brain begins to associate goal-related actions with positive outcomes. Breaking down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps is an additional technique for bolstering self-control. Psychologists recommend using SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, to set realistic steps that keep individuals engaged and prevent burnout. In practice, setting specific goals allows people to channel their willpower effectively, making it easier to make everyday decisions aligned with their aspirations. This structured approach reduces the mental strain of continuous self-control by creating a clear path forward, thereby supporting consistent, intentional action toward longer-term goals. Self-monitoring techniques. Self-monitoring is the practice of actively tracking behaviors, thoughts, or progress toward goals, and is widely recognized as a powerful tool for improving self-control. By recording specific actions or patterns, individuals develop greater awareness of habits, which can motivate positive changes. Psychologist Albert Bandura, known for his work on self-efficacy, argued that self-monitoring is critical for behavior change because it brings attention to actions, making it easier to regulate them. Studies show that simply observing a behavior can influence it. For instance, tracking food intake or daily spending often results in better decisions due to increased self-awareness. Self-monitoring engages the prefrontal cortex, which is associated with planning and regulation, and strengthens neural pathways related to self-discipline. By consistently observing their behaviors, people reinforce their capacity to align daily choices with their goals. Practical self-monitoring tools include keeping a journal or using apps designed to log activities, such as exercise or budgeting apps. These tools help track progress in real time and can be especially useful for maintaining consistency. For instance, recording daily expenses can prevent impulsive purchases by creating a visual reminder of spending habits, aligning with long-term financial goals. Additionally, reflective practices, such as setting aside time each evening to review the day's actions, can deepen the impact of self-monitoring. Psychologist James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, advocates for this habit because it enables individuals to adjust strategies as needed, enhancing both accountability and self-awareness. Ultimately, self-monitoring cultivates self-control by making behaviors visible and measurable, reinforcing an individual's commitment to goals while enabling proactive adjustments along the way. Habit formation. Habit formation plays a crucial role in self-control by transforming deliberate actions into automatic behaviors, thus reducing the mental effort required for self-regulation. Habits develop through consistent repetition, creating neural pathways that make actions increasingly automatic over time. Renowned psychologist William James noted that habits form the flywheel of society, indicating that when self-control is embedded in habits, achieving goals becomes easier. According to Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit, habits are built through a cue routine reward loop. A cue triggers a behavior, the behavior is performed as a routine, and a reward reinforces it. This process helps the brain conserve energy by creating routines that minimize decision-making. For instance, establishing a morning routine for exercise eliminates the need for daily motivation, as the behavior becomes automatic. In neuroscience, habit formation relies heavily on the basal ganglia, the brain region responsible for automatic behaviors, allowing the prefrontal cortex to focus on more complex tasks. As a result, when self-control-related behaviors, like healthy eating or consistent study habits, become routine, individuals experience less mental strain in maintaining them. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, emphasizes starting with tiny habits, small, manageable actions that are easy to repeat consistently. For example, instead of aiming to read an hour daily, start with a goal of reading 5 minutes. As these small actions become habitual, they serve as building blocks for more significant changes. Ultimately, habits empower self-control by creating predictable patterns and behavior, making it easier to pursue long-term goals with less conscious effort. Through habit formation, self-control becomes embedded in daily routines, supporting a consistent, purpose-driven life. Positive reinforcement and reward. Positive reinforcement uses rewards to encourage desired behaviors, making it a practical strategy for building self-control. Rooted in behavioral psychology, positive reinforcement increases the likelihood of a behavior by immediately following it with a pleasurable experience, strengthening the association. B.F. Skinner, a pioneer in this field, demonstrated how rewards can shape behavior over time, showing that even small incentives can promote consistency in actions. In the context of self-control, rewards serve as motivation by providing immediate satisfaction for effort put toward long-term goals. For instance, if someone rewards themselves with a favorite snack after a workout, this positive reinforcement makes exercising more appealing. Neuroscience shows that rewards activate the brain's dopamine pathways, which are associated with motivation and pleasure. Each time a behavior is rewarded, dopamine release reinforces that action, making it easier to repeat in the future. However, effective reinforcement requires that rewards align with personal goals, keeping them purposeful and sustainable. Psychologists recommend using rewards that don't undermine the ultimate objective. For example, if the goal is to save money, a small reward could be a quiet evening of relaxation rather than a costly treat. This approach strengthens self-control without conflicting with the primary aim. Moreover, temptation bundling, a term coined by behavioral scientist Catherine Milkman, pairs a task you find challenging, like doing chores, with a reward activity, such as listening to your favorite podcast. This strategy makes difficult tasks more enjoyable, promoting consistency and self-control. By integrating positive reinforcement into daily routines, individuals can stay motivated and cultivate long-term habits that support self-discipline. The reward system thus becomes an ally in sustaining self-control, making goal-oriented actions more enjoyable and likely to persist. Visualization of future outcomes. Visualization is a powerful tool for self-control, as it strengthens commitment to long-term goals by mentally rehearsing success. By vividly imagining future outcomes, individuals can increase motivation and perseverance as they connect current actions to future rewards. Research in psychology and neuroscience shows that visualization activates the brain's dopamine pathways, creating a sense of anticipation that boosts determination and resilience. When people envision their future selves achieving a goal, they're more likely to make choices that align with that vision. Gabriel Ettingen, a leading psychologist in goal setting, developed the WOOP method: wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan, which leverages mental contrasting. In this technique, individuals first visualize their goal, wish and outcome, and then identify obstacles that may hinder success. By creating a realistic plan to overcome challenges, visualization becomes actionable, boosting the likelihood of success. Research on WOOP has shown that it increases follow-through by transforming abstract goals into manageable steps. In daily life, this practice can be applied by taking a few moments each day to imagine achieving a goal and the steps needed to get there. For instance, someone aiming for a career advancement could visualize themselves succeeding in a challenging project, then mentally prepare for possible obstacles, like time constraints or skill gaps. Regular visualization fosters resilience by keeping individuals focused on their end goals, even in the face of setbacks. This process aligns daily actions with long-term aspirations, enhancing self-control through a clear, goal-oriented mindset. Visualization thus empowers individuals to stay connected to their future selves, reinforcing consistent, intentional progress toward meaningful achievements. Philosophical insights on self-control. Philosophy has long viewed self-control as a pathway to a fulfilling life, offering valuable insights into its role in personal growth. Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, taught that self-mastery is key to inner freedom, as it allows individuals to act in line with their values rather than fleeting impulses. For Stoics, self-control is not about denying pleasure but about cultivating virtues like patience, resilience, and rationality, which they believed lead to a well-rounded, contented life. One Stoic exercise that supports self-control is negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. In this practice, individuals imagine possible challenges or setbacks, mentally preparing themselves to handle them without losing composure. This approach helps build resilience, as people become less likely to act impulsively when faced with difficulties. By expecting potential obstacles, they cultivate a sense of acceptance, reducing emotional reactivity. Philosopher Aristotle also emphasized the importance of habitual practice for self-control, suggesting that consistent actions shape character. For Aristotle, virtues, including self-control, are developed through repeated, intentional behaviors. This idea aligns with modern psychology's emphasis on habit formation, highlighting that by practicing self-control regularly, individuals reinforce their capacity for it. In daily life, these philosophical insights can be applied through reflection on personal values, setting intentions that align with them, and preparing for challenges. Practicing patience, accepting setbacks, and acting in line with one's core principles strengthen self-discipline over time. Thus, philosophy offers a perspective that self-control is not only about immediate restraint but about fostering an enduring character that supports a meaningful, virtuous life, reinforcing both resilience and inner satisfaction. Practical exercises for self-control. Building self-control through practical exercises helps transform it into a reliable skill for daily life. Exercises like the pause technique, taking a moment to reflect before acting, are proven to strengthen impulse control. By pausing for a few seconds or even minutes before reacting to a situation, individuals gain a valuable window to assess their choices, reinforcing thoughtful decision-making over reflexive actions. This technique aligns with findings in psychology, where researchers like Kelly McGonigal emphasize that short delays help activate the brain's decision-making centers, making it easier to choose responses that reflect long-term goals. Another effective method is temptation bundling, a concept developed by behavioral scientist Catherine Milkman. This technique involves pairing a less enjoyable task, like household chores, with a pleasurable activity, such as listening to a favorite podcast. Temptation bundling makes challenging tasks more appealing, encouraging consistent follow-through on behaviors that require self-control. Daily reflection is also a valuable exercise. Setting aside a few minutes at the end of each day to review one's actions fosters self-awareness, enabling adjustments that improve self-control over time. Reflecting on successes and areas for growth builds resilience, allowing individuals to learn from experiences without judgment. Additionally, practicing mindfulness exercises such as focused breathing or body scans can strengthen self-control by calming the mind, helping people manage impulses effectively. Integrating these practical exercises into daily routines helps embed self-control as an enduring habit. By consistently engaging in small, intentional actions, individuals not only enhance their capacity for self-regulation but also reinforce a mindset oriented toward long-term well-being and personal achievement. Copyright 2024 by AudioBooksTube. Thank you for listening. Please consider to subscribe, like, and share to help the channel grow new videos on a daily basis.